All right, let's get to the music news. And hey, you know how those fires have been going on in California? Well, this is not the first story that we're going to have today regarding coming back to work from those fires.
Yeah.
So, the Recording Academy, since we're talking about music here, has released a revised 2025 Grammy Week event schedule, which focuses the organization's efforts on quote, the events that can be the most impactful, close quote, in the wake of the multiple devastating wildfires that continue to burn across Los Angeles. As it was previously announced, the 67th Annual Grammy Awards telecast on CBS will, as of now, continue to be held on February 2nd, but will have a quote, renewed sense of purpose, colon, raising additional funds to support wildlife relief efforts and honoring the bravery and dedication of first responders who risk their lives to protect ours. Close quote, according to the announcement. Nearly all non Academy related Grammy weeks have been canceled or postponed, including the traditional party staged by the major music companies.
Yes. So the major labels typically have a Grammy party. Those were canceled. Spotify had an event that's now canceled. So pretty much it's just Academy-led events that are left. Um, yeah, I could imagine that this dominates the conversation at Grammys night. You're gonna hear a lot of people probably talk about both running the show and probably accepting and presenting awards, talk about the relief effort, and it's gonna be a highlight. Um, as it should be. It's where a lot of recording in the major music industry happens. So it has affected countless musicians' lives and countless lives in the recording industry. So, yeah, not a surprise. I think the surprise is that as of this recording, they're still having it that same day. Um, I mean, I have to
Being that
imagine
they're
that
still
there
having the
was,
Grammys?
yeah, I mean, we since we've recorded last week, there has been major progress on the effort to
The
curtail the
containments,
fires
yeah.
and contain. And I saw a lot of notifications today of evacuation warnings getting downgraded and people being allowed to go back to their homes, which is a positive sign. I have my doubts that everything will be contained and dealt with by the time we hit February 2nd. But still, they must be pretty confident that by that date, it will be safe enough to have such a large gathering there. So yeah, as far as right now is concerned, that the Grammys will go on without a hitch. It's just that everything around them will have to change.
And that makes sense because we'll get to it later when we get to TV and movies. But because the Grammys Awards, most of the performances are held within indoors
Yeah.
of, well, it was Staples Center, now it's Crypto Arena. But because it's mainly held indoors, I don't think they're gonna have any outdoor performances like they have in the years past. Uh, because of the smoke and the fires and safety concerns, that you will see a lot of this being held indoors and contained. And yes, there will be, as we'll get to, raised safety precautions
Yeah.
because this is still a live event. I am still surprised that they're still having it on February 2nd. Like you said, I thought they might be pushing it back at least a month, but I guess not.
Um, I think my impression of the venues is that there is a very strict schedule, and they may not have had time available to them to move to a later date. They may have been locked in, for better or for worse.
Right. It's not like they can go to one of the four other big arenas in Los
Right.
Angeles.
That's all booked, I'm sure. So,
Well, yeah, because they book these award shows out
way ahead.
months in advance. Usually, like after
Mm,
the years happen, they're already starting on the next year.
yeah. So, I mean, this doesn't really change much to the people watching the Grammys. You'll be able to watch it in the same kind of way that prior, but yeah, interesting nonetheless. And like you said, it's a recurring theme probably this week that we'll talk about a lot of things being rescheduled and moved. Um, a side note to this story is that one of the major Grammy nominees this year, Beyonce, apparently had an announcement that was scheduled for the 14th of this past Tuesday and was delayed because of the fires. It's kind of unclear about what that was going to be. Perhaps a tour announcement finally, but that will be delayed. And I don't know if we mentioned it last week, but The Weeknd has delayed his record release to coincide with the fires because that Rose Bowl performance he was planning on is no longer going to happen on that date.
Right. I know the Rose Bowl performance was postponed. I didn't realize that
Yeah.
the album itself would be postponed as
Yes.
well.
He did that in tandem. He did both at the same time.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw the Rose Bowl one. I was like, "Ooh, maybe I can get tickets now."
Nope.
Nope.
We'll see if when it happens again, but
If slash when, yes.